Hello everyone, I am Varun T and this is my architectural design report for you. Firstly, starting with where would the shelter be built and the site location. So we had to choose between three different types of locations. So I chose nature, being the hardest one, and we finally came up with the village called Ganal. So this is my individual site analysis. Starting with the village Ganal. Ganalu is located in Malavai in Mandya district of Karnataka, India. The site is around 1 kilometer away from the center of the village. The main road which leads to the dead end, leads to the Shimshapura Dam, which is a major river water of the site. And the sun path, which is usually from the east to the west, east being the side of the higher region contour, and west being the lower part of the contour. So the main views are usually on the west side, where the sun sets, which is the harmful rays coming from the sun. So it's actually a challenge for us being designing a house over there. And the wind path is normally from the northeast and the southwest side. Natural physical and man-made features like trees and boulders are there. So this is the site plan which shows where exactly the shelter comes in the site. So what I've done is I've placed the shelter exactly on the flat surface of the site, making it easier to build. And the other contour regions can be used for farming or animal rearing sort of work. And the trees on site are not cut, and light passes through the building, or passes through the shelter, through the jari walls or the glass walls. The next part is who, which is basically knowing about the client details and the user study, the bubble diagram and the proximity chart. This is the activity chart which tells the just daily details of what the people in the family do, like the father, mother, the children, the grandparents, such as being homeschooled at a particular time or what time they take nap, they have their food. So this activity chart tells it's a timetable of the whole family. This is the activities and spatial program chart. So what I've done is I've kept the functions different in three different types like primary, secondary and tertiary. So in this different types of users like who all come in which room and the quality of spaces such as if it's public, semi-public, private or if the spaces are open, semi-open or enclosed and what all furnitures will come in each room are given in this chart. So this is the bubble diagram which shows where each room or space will be located and how the circulation will be done through each of them. This is the proximity chart which shows how far exactly each room will be from each room. So 1 being the closest and 5 being the farthest. The different rooms are put in a table and numbered them according to the closeness and farness of each of them. The next one is what, which is the precedent study or the case study. The case study I have chosen for this is a sanctuary house built by Feldman. The sanctuary house is located in Palo Alto, United States. I've chosen this house because each interior space in this house is paired with its own landscape movement. The house allows the architecture and the landscape to flow into each other. Since the spaces are mostly open and light and shadow plays an important role in this. Light passes everywhere inside and all the trees are easily, you can see it through the house. The best part about this whole structure is it floats on stilts of piers which allows the building to participate with the trees on site as it protects the roots on the trees. There's a huge oak tree in the middle of the house which adapts into the architecture of the house. These are a few images of the sanctuary house. As you can see the oak trees and the structure lifted and how the interior is merging with the architecture and the landscape. Now moving on to why, which are the design objectives. These are 5 objectives we got to know from each study in this past semester. The first objective is recycling can be done using materials on site, which reduces the amount of waste. The next one is alternative ways of generating electricity like solar panels or wind turbines, which can be used on the structure. And third one is light and shadow, which is very important and can be used in different types of creative ways. The fourth one is the structure should not be disturbed by the nature. And the fifth one, which is the structure can be lifted while floats on the stilts of pillars, which allows the building to participate with the trees on site, and hence it protects the root areas. These are the five objectives which I have chosen from all the studies we have through the semester. Now, finally, coming to the first part of how, which is the animal architecture and the concept sheets, about how we come through the concept. So for animal architecture, I have chosen pufferfish as the animal. This is a small 10 centimeter fish that builds large sandy nest structures which are around 2 meter large. It resembles a crop circles, and they build this nest to attract the females and to mate, and they also lay eggs in the center of it. As you can see, the circles are mostly concentric. I've done this mood board which shows the different types of circles. This is the concentric circle, and the axis is usually radial. They have different types of rise and level, and there are two rings as the inner ring and the outer ring. So this is the animal architecture which I have chosen. So moving on to the concept sheet. So we have four different types of categories to develop the concept. So first starting with the form and shape. So the form and shape of the pufferfish circles are usually circular, and the space and organization is different as they organ with different radialism and circularism, and they have level rises. The texture of this is usually sand, so they have a fine porous texture, and the material is sand, so you have different types of sand mixed in that. So I did a little brainstorming and found these radial things, radialism and height differences, concentric and staggered mannerism, and obviously parallelism. So how I developed it was, first I got a circle from the main one, and I gave it a form, gave it a shape like a ring. What I did was I doubled it, and then I merged it, making an infinity sign. And I thickened it to give a 3D form. And the infinity, what I did was I cut it, giving a start in the beginning. And then I added the staggered form and the lines, etc., giving my final shape and form. Finally, moving on to the last part, which is the second type of how, where I'll be showing the plan in sections and the elevation and isometric view. So this is my first sheet which has the floor plan and the three sections. So on the west side you can see the entry which is through the serial planes which are played with light and shadow. So you enter to the foyer, and it's a long passage, and then it's directly into the living room which is covered full of glass. So which you have light entering in it. Then below the living room you have no, the side of the living room you have your dining table and the kitchen, which is easily accessible from the living room. And then beside it you have the utility. Beside the kitchen you have a utility, and from there there's a passage which leads to the third kid's bedroom. So for the first kid, I've given a separate bedroom for his own privacy, and he has closet. And for the second and third kid, they share a bedroom with separate beds, so they have their own privacy. And both of them have all three of them have an attached bathroom, which is easily accessible to both of them. And then on the other side of the foyer, you have the grandparents' bedroom with an attached bath and a walk-in closet. So same as the master bedroom for the parents, the walk-in closet and an attached bathroom. And the work desk for the mother is right from the master bedroom. And then beside that is a passage, and next to that they have the meeting space where the family can have their meeting with the other people. And next to it is a small library room where there's a bookshelf, and the people, all the family can sit and enjoy time reading books. And next to that is a room where all the kids are homeschooled by their grandparents or their parents. And then beside it is the craft room where the grandmother and the daughter and the granddaughter can do their art and craft work. The whole curved part is I've given jali wall which allows light to pass through it. And next to that is a bathroom which is accessible for them in case we don't have to walk all the way to their rooms. Beside that is the yoga room, which is completely is semi-open, and it has light entering all over it, where the whole family can have their yoga practices. Next to that is the grain storage, where all the animal grade grain can be stored. And next to that is the animal husbandry farm, where and the animals can be stored, and the tractor for the farming and all can be kept. And then finally you have your car parking, where they have a jeep and a sedan car which is parked over there with a sliding door easily accessible for them. And from the garage you can directly walk through the pathway. And in the center of this is a tree, on-site tree, which I have not cut. And it can be used as a courtyard. People can sit under the tree. We can have a fresh bright air and light. And the serial planes pathway lead again to the living room, which can be opened with a sliding glass. And then now coming to the sections. First section is AA, which is the whole diagonal one. So the first part is the yoga room, and then there's a tree with the courtyard. And you can see sun passing in through the glass room, and how the wind waves passing. And these are the other sections. The second one is also the same way as in the first part. The extreme left you have the kids master bedroom, kids bedroom, and the end is the grandparents bedroom, as wind passes through the window and light passes through. In the last section, CC, the left side is the kids homeschool, where they have the jali wall, as wind can pass through it and light. And the courtyard tree is there, and on the right side is the garage where the cars can be kept. So this is the second sheet where I have the elevations and isometric view. So in the elevations you can see the curvedness of the room, and the yoga room and the serial planes, the different levels of how the height variation is. And in the isometric view, you can see I have lifted the structure around 550 centimeters from the floor, and the roof as the pufferfish levels. So this is the isometric view showing the tree and the rooms and the basic structure of how it will be. So that's all. Thank you so much. I'm Varun T signing off.